so the items that you're going to need are, of course, fur, and you're going to need a razor blade, preferably a really sharp one, or else it won't cut through the fabric, and you need a hot glue gun, and hot glue gun refills, and afterwards you're going to need elastic to put the tail onto the belt or the pants, so the elastic will go like right there. And you need a permanent marker for drawing your pattern on the fur. And then you're going to need stuffing to stuff the tail with.
Oh, hello there. I'm Tasha Elliott. Today I'm going to be teaching you
how to make a fursuit tail! Like these ones. So I made this one just because the fabric is gorgeous. And then this one is a saber-toothed tiger tail. And then this one is the very first tail I made. And it's a deer tail! And it's broken. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to pick out your fabric from like Joann's or like Hancock Fabrics. They have really good fur there, but Joann's is really expensive. So I have this fur left over from my Halloween costume. Wherever go. And so you want to turn your fur like inside out. So like there's the fur, and then here's like the rough part. And you want to draw your pattern on the rough part. And usually for like beginners, you might want to draw the pattern on like construction paper or something, just so you have it like left over just in case you want to make a new one. So you have the pattern down on it, and we're gonna cut it out with a razor blade. And usually what I recommend for beginners is to use scissors, but scissors hurt hands, and that's not cool. And if you use scissors, it'll cut the fur underneath, so you won't have a natural look. So we'll get back to you once we're done cutting this out with this horrible razor blade. Okay, so now we have our fur cut out. And I didn't use a pattern, so this piece is bigger than this piece. Like, I just cut this piece out first, and then I put it on the other side, and then I drew with the permanent marker, and then this came out. So it doesn't really matter if it's bigger or not. So now we're going to start gluing. So make sure your hot glue gun is ready and warm, or else the glue won't stick and work. Okay, so put your two pieces on like fur facing each other. And then what you want to do is like, you have to glue on the actual fur, so it's kind of hard, but you want to like start at the bottom. Just like that. And yeah, I recommend you have no feeling in your hands to do this, because you will get burned a million times. And just like wipe away the excess glue, because it won't really matter once you turn it inside out. So you're just gonna glue all the way around here and leave the top open so you can turn it inside out and like stuff it. So we will see you once I'm done gluing this thing. Okay, so now we finished gluing up all the edges, and we left a little space in the front. So now we're going to pull it inside out. And be careful, because I think the fabric will rip if you pull it too hard. And make sure it's all the way pushed out. And make sure there's no holes. And it will feel kind of like rough at the edges just because of the glue, but it should look pretty nice. Kind of looks like a beaver. So then you take stuffing and you just, oh god. stuff it in there. And it doesn't really matter how much stuffing you have. I mean, like, if you want it to be a floppy tail, then you add little stuffing, but if you want it to be freaking thick like this one, then you stuff it all the way. So I am probably going to stuff this all the way so it'll look good. I don't think I'm going to make it stick out like the other ones. Make sure it's not lumpy, so you like squish it around and make sure it's even. Okay, so I'm gonna do a new technique with my little elastic thingies. It doesn't really matter, like, how long you cut them, as long as they will, like, fit on a belt loop. If they have like buckles at the end of them, you can just clip them on the belt loop, or if they're wide enough, you can slide them on a belt, which is what I'm going to be doing. So for this one, I'm going to fold both of the edges. So it's kind of going to be flat, but like my shirt will cover that part. So we are going to glue this. Probably going to glue this edge down first, so it's not flopping everywhere. It stays in one place. And then we'll do the same with this one, except this edge is littler, so don't use a lot of glue. So we're going to first glue the two ends together like this. So you make a nice little hole thing. And then put glue on one side, but not a lot. And then make sure all the fur is sticking out. And then just glue it right on. Make sure it's kind of straight. And then put glue on the other side. And then just hold it there for a few seconds. So I mean, yeah, the tail will kind of look flat, but if you have a long enough shirt, it will cover it. Unlike some of these ones that are meant to stick out, and the shirt will just like sit on top, but you can like see the bottom. Yay! Okay, so now we're gonna do the same with the other side, except we're not gonna actually. We will glue the sides down. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. Now this is pretty much the same size as the other one, so but it's curly. So just put glue on this. Oh no. And then smush it together. And you're probably going to have a big mess after you do this, because there's glue everywhere. And make sure they're even, so the tail isn't all hanging weird. So you want to put glue on this. And then glue the same side. And then just press it down. And then you're going to want to glue. You have like a hole inside there. You have to glue those two edges together. So pull all of the fur out and then put glue in between there. And then just glue it shut, and that should stay. And I mean, these tails aren't really hard to like open and fix. So there it is. And then, oh god. And you probably would have to like refine the edges. Like over here, it's pulling apart a little. So just put some glue. And it doesn't really matter, well, I don't think it matters if the glue sticks out, because the glue dries clear and it's the exact same color as the fur when it dries. So that is basically how to make one of these. And I could have put a little more like stuffing in the opening, but that's okay. And I have to refine this edge again. So that's pretty much it. And after, we will go ahead and model this. So we'll see you then. Okay.
So this is the tail in its final piece, and what it's used for. You have the beautiful feet that lead up into the awesome wolf hair. Look at that little claw. And it all revolves around the tail. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thanks from Tasha and myself.